And away we go. It is the nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com, brought to you as always by our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com to download the app for Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. Aaron, guess where we went for dinner tonight?
Galactic.
We did.
Guess what I had for dinner tonight?
Galactic sauce.
I did.
So, good news. Remember I talked about because of supply chain issues, they had to recreate the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Those supply chain issues are being fixed, and within the next week or so, the OG Galactic sauce will be back available. They had a little batch tonight that we got to use for our order, and it was the OG stuff. So I'm excited.
So I marinated some chicken breasts all day in Italian and soy sauce, which is my go-to, and then threw that on the grill, basted it in Galactic instead of barbecue, which is the traditional go-to if you're basting.
Yeah.
Basted in Galactic. It actually cooked off all of the honey mustard and the sweet, but it was an explosion of flavor and fantastic. Had some good heat left on the baste, and the lady was impressed.
Good to hear. We had Kelsey did her 4 legs. Kelly had one of the legs and some mashed potatoes. Had the family, a couple family members meet us there.
The out of towners,
no, they're gone. This is my cousin, and his family lives right in Fort Thomas, like right on the hill above Galactic, so they can get down there in like 4 minutes.
2 seconds, right?
Yeah, my 18-year-old cousin that just graduated from Highlands got 3 chicken tenders, and I was like, "Dude, you're never gonna eat that." She had like 1.5. She did pretty good. She had like 1.5.
It's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. What can you do? All right, let's get into the show. We got a couple things we might get to tonight. We'll see how this first segment goes. If not, we'll roll the second segment over and tomorrow. If it's a little short, then we'll add the second segment to today. So what's going to end up happening is it's going to be a longer episode than we normally do, because that's just how things happen here. Tomorrow, the Big 12 kicks off talking season.
Mm-hmm.
Big 12 media days tomorrow and Thursday. What are your expectations? Brett Yormark is apparently going to be
Brett
Yormark is going to be speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently Bob Bowsby also going to be speaking. Bob Bowsby is essentially like his job has been usurped by Yormark now because of everything that's happening. So Bowsby's going to have 0 F's to give when he gets to the microphone at Big 12 Media Days. Do you think we're going to get anything newsy? Do you think we're going to get talks of how aggressive the Big 12 plans to be? How they're like, are we going to get a feel for how the Big 12 is handling the changing landscape?
I think, first and foremost, I want to commend Brett Yormark, who is not supposed to start this job until August 1st.
Correct.
Has jumped in both feet first, said to hell with this date. There's too much going on. And I think that anyone who's a fan of the Big 12 Conference, new or old, should be invigorated by the energy that this guy has already started a job that he technically doesn't have yet.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's reportedly being aggressive, you should also be like, just double down on the excitement about that. That's something that I don't believe Bowlesby was. I think that he was one to kind of sit back and let the big dogs run the show. Texas and Oklahoma, I don't think there's any secret.
Well, he had a different job.
Sure. But I mean, at the end of the day, he was put in a difficult position because the 2 big swinging dicks in the room were the 2 that have left, right?
Right.
So I don't know. I mean, I think that Yormark I think he's going to play it close to the vest. I don't think he's going to give away much of anything, but I think he's going to throw some things out there to again continue to invigorate the fan base, as this is the first time that you've publicly spoken as a representative of the Big 12. So I think that is going to be his first opportunity to let the fan base know, hey, we're not going to be sitting back and relaxing and just letting the cards fall where they may.
But we don't know that. Like, we don't know what his official, like, we know behind the scenes, like, who knows what's going on. This is going to be his first official in front of the scenes message as the guy in charge of the Big 12.
But
he seems like an aggressive guy.
The way that everything has been reported at this point in time, again, this is all allegedly, but he's allegedly being aggressive in all of the negotiations to try and expand. And I think that he's going to set the tone with that. I don't expect him to be anything less than, hey, we're working to improve, plain and simple. And I think it's going to be.
Yeah, but he could play commissioner speak. We're exploring all our options.
I don't think it's going to be that, though.
I mean, I'm just saying it's possible.
I think that the Big 12 is right now, in my humble opinion, I think the Big 12 is in the power seat to be the third best conference in the country in football.
Right, but maybe you don't want to show your hand. That's first.
Which is why I think he's going to play a lot close to the vest, but I think he's going to get.
But if you say we're being aggressive and we're looking to expand,
I don't think it's a secret, though.
Yeah, but when you say it, it's different than everybody talking about it, right? Like, when you put it on the record, like, you're sending notice.
As for, go on.
I'm just saying, like, you're letting everybody, you're letting all the schools in the Pac-12 that might not be part of your plan know what your plan is. You're making it, you're putting it on Front Street. So I definitely think there's a possibility that he goes up there and he kind of not hedges his bets, but just doesn't show his hand. He doesn't play all of his cards.
At the end of the day, I personally don't care what he says up there. It's a matter of what he's actually doing, right?
Okay, but we're talking about what he's going to say tomorrow.
Well, I don't know. I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. It's fine. As for Bowlesby is, from what I understand, supposed to be staying on as a consultant for the Big 12. He's not done with the Big 12.
He'll be around. Like, it's a way to make a paycheck when you're done with, like, you know.
I just wonder how much influence he'll still continue to have in that capacity. And it doesn't mean that he doesn't still know how to pull strings behind the scenes if something's not going the way that he necessarily wants it. I think, in my opinion, it would be best if they completely cut ties with Bowlesby and let Yormark run the show. But they're going to do what they're going to do.
Yormark has no, like, yes, we've talked about it's a good thing that he's not, like, in the good old boy network.
Affiliations, right?
But it does help to have people around that know what the deal is, right? Like, that's not a bad thing per se. So, I don't know. I think it's fascinating, like, waiting to see exactly how this is handled tomorrow. And it'll be fascinating from our perspective, because, like, the 4 new schools won't be there. They'll be dealing with their own, you know, well, I don't know what BYU does, but, like, UC, UCF, and Houston will have AAC media days next week or whatever it is. And, you know, I'm sure they will have to answer a lot of Big 12, or hypothetically answer a lot of Big 12 questions in that setting. But they're not necessarily, you know, we're going to hear from the 8 remaining schools kind of where their brain is at, I think. So, over the next 2 days, I think that part's fascinating. I wonder how much of a unified front this messaging is going to be. Because you do have, it's Texas country. Like, everybody's got big opinions. I wonder how many of those opinions we're going to get from the remaining schools. I wonder where Yormark sets the tone for what this conference is thinking. I just think ultimately it's it's a fascinating look, a fascinating snapshot in a still unstable situation.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously, a ton hinges on if anybody's able to find a loophole in the AAC's. I'm sorry, the ACC's ridiculous.
I don't think that has anything to do with anything right now, because it sounds like there's not one. Like, maybe somebody challenges it, but I don't think there's any confidence of like somebody's going to challenge it and walk away with an easy dub.
I agree.
The word is, if you challenge it, that's fine, but you better prepare for a battle, an epic legal battle to make this happen. So I don't know how much the ACC plays into it. I'm interested how much of their hand is the Big 12 going to show in regards to what eye they have on the leftovers of the Pac-12. Do they act like a shark that's in hunting mode, or do they act like a lion that's kind of like hanging out in the weeds, kind of watching and seeing every move that their prey is making without their prey having any inkling as that the lion is laying right there? Like, does that make sense?
The poor gazelle.
Yeah, right? Are we looking at a gazelle, or are we looking at like a giant flounder that a shark is just like, I'm going to kill that bitch?
Well, I feel like your Mark is the type of guy who lives by the credo: you're either the hunter or the hunted.
Right, but in both situations, we're talking about hunters. We're just talking about different styles of hunting.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Like, it's either aggressive, like in your face, I'm going to eat you, or like laying in the weeds waiting for you to like let your guard down and take a drink of water and then coming for your neck.
Obviously, the sooner you get something done, if you were to expand with, say 4, 6 teams, whatever ends up being, 3 is the new report. I think that people are talking about more today, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that you want to get it done sooner, and you want to get it done right around the same time that you're expanding with BYU, Houston, and Cincinnati. You don't want to prolong this as you continue to expand, right?
I mean, if there's a year difference between when those come in and then the next group comes in, that's not a big deal.
Then Texas and Oklahoma leaves.
Yeah, like honestly, you might want to wait until Texas and Oklahoma leave, because then you're just bloated. So
maybe
that part will be interesting. But you know what? I think we're better off saving the other topic for tomorrow.
I concur.
We've gotten to a point. I think we're good. I think people are going to be obviously everybody's going to be talking about Big 12 Media Days tomorrow, because they're either going to slow play it, and people are going to be like, "Oh, look, the Big 12s, they're acting like the Pac-12 from last year. They're getting soft," or they're going to be like, "Oh man, like Brent Yarmark's that dude. Like,
Brett,
he's circling the prey." But I think there's different ways to interpret whatever it is we see tomorrow. And guess what? Everybody's going to be doing that on the Bearcat Journal message board tomorrow relentlessly. What? 100,000 views tomorrow?
The funny thing is going to be when you have so many people interpreting the same thing 17 different ways.
Oh, yeah. That's why tomorrow's fascinating, because we have no idea.
What time is that supposed to happen?
I don't know what time it starts.
Well, I guess the reason I ask is
in the morning, late morning.
So we're almost going to get a live react. It won't be shortly thereafter by the time you're on with Dave.
Yeah, we're on. If you're watching, we are live tomorrow at 4:15 with Wes Miller. I think that's his name.
Kind of a big deal.
And then Dave and I are gonna, have some fun. We didn't get invited to vote in the AAC media poll this year. Apparently, they didn't like the pull the names out of a hat trick last year. So we're gonna pull names out of a hat anyway, because We got to give the people what they want.
They can't hold you down.
No, they just didn't invite us to be part of the official poll. Dave
poll?
was like
24/7.
No, the American Athletic Conference.
Oh, the actual conference.
So last year we got invited to participate in the media poll.
I watched it or listened to it. The whole time I thought it was 24/7's poll.
No. This was the actual AAC.
Yeah.
Like when they have their media day, they release the poll from the media.
Yeah, that's why you weren't invited.
Yeah, we said like this is going to be the last official time.
I mean, you got your last official one a year early. The AAC.
Right. So Mo was talking on Cincy 360, I guess, yesterday on Monday about sending in his final official AAC media poll, and Dave was like, "Did you not get that?" And I was like, "Well, I've been on vacation. Like, I was on the road for AAU. I bounced around quite a bit. Like, maybe I missed it and didn't realize it. But I went back through my promotional folder. I went back through my my trash folder in case I just saw AAC and hit delete, which happens pretty frequently right now because I don't care." But no, it wasn't in there either. So we were not invited this year, to the surprise of no one.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, but we're going to do that either way. And then I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about from Big 12 Media Days. So exciting BCJ pod tomorrow, live 4:15.
Looking forward to it.
Wes Miller kicking off the show. So it'll be a good one. We'll see everybody there. That's going to wrap it up. Make sure you tune in to the PTP tonight with members, hopefully, of the TBT team. Apparently, they were playing Open Gym, Aaron. So they just got done with Open Gym.
All right, very good.
So fingers crossed. Nothing else. We'll see you tomorrow at 4:15, and then back here for a nightcap tomorrow night. I'm Chad Brendel. He's Aaron Smith. Go get yourself some Galactic fried chicken. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Aaron, real quick. We went in there, and Dave was like, or Shane was like, there's BCJ people on the patio. And I went out, and they were like, "Chad!" And I was like, "Hey!" And they were like, "We came down."
Hey, buddy!
Hey, buddy! We came down because you kept telling us to keep coming here, and we were here and had Galactic for the first time, and it was awesome. So thanks to you guys. Like that's how sponsorships stay hot, is you guys make the business know that you support the product. So keep doing that. Thank you, and we'll see you tomorrow night. It's the nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com.
See ya!